1-800-449-8255, baby. Oh, yeah. You know where you are. You are on the only talk radio show, the only place in all humanity that you need to be daily. If you aren't here every day at the Clark the Shark show, I don't know what to say for you then, because this is the place to be, baby, on the internet. And if you are a soldier in Ukraine or anywhere, you've got to find an Android phone or an iPhone or an old PC. Dude, it doesn't matter. You got to turn it on. Turn it on again, as Phil Collins would say. Like Genesis. You got to get on the Clark the Shark show, baby, and you got to get here right now, because today I am bringing you one hell of a review of an incredible album, the fifth album from my favorite band from Canada, you guys. Now, you know I love Rush and I love three-piece bands. So do the music industry record labels back in the 90s. Oh, every week they're signing a new three-piece. I guess because it's easier to break the money, or it's just easier to rip off the fucking band and not pay them a penny right here on the Clark the Shark show or something like that. But I remember when I was in my three-piece band, GE, The Greenhouse Effect, you know, the one that all of you watch all the time, all day on the internet. You all seem to be madly in love with the younger me back when I was relevant and much more important than I am now at age 58 going on 59. When I was in GE and I was part of the performance of all those amazing, incredible songs, She's a Bitch, which a few people have emailed me and said sounds like that song by The Weeknd. And I'm like, wait, first of all, who the fuck is The Weeknd? But they're also like, you know, Sharky, bunch of your, like, Shark, hey, Garth, you know, a lot of your songs sound like they're being recycled right now. And I'm like, nah, I've checked around, you guys. I don't hear any GE really, at least not yet, but probably someone's going to steal Brandy and or It Ain't Easy eventually. And who knows, it might be actually a good thing, because then I'll be able to collect royalties perhaps, or get the songwriting credit I finally get after all these years. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is if you love me, Clark the Shark, and my music, keep watching and go right ahead. But I'll never be as good as Triumph Allied Forces, baby. The Canadian three-piece band. Now, I know you guys are all Clark the Shark, dude. You're from Torrance, Redondo, Hermosa, you know, Lomita, Gardena, Palos Verdes. You're Mr. South Bay, bro. You're supposed to be doing reviews on Black Flag and, you know, SST. I'm like, fuck that, dude. You know what? Fuck all them too. The punk rock scene. The best they can do is they're like, well, he's a good drummer. Yeah. Well, dude, probably more people watch me now in 2024 than watch Black Flag, dude, or Greg Ginn or Rollins, or, you know, Husker Du or fucking any of them on SST. I don't even fucking care, you guys. I can turn it on or turn it off with promotion or SEO, web marketing, or web traffic shit that I do anytime I want or don't want right here on the Clark the Shark Show. I'm not talking about Black Flag, Greg Ginn, and punk rock cred around the South Bay today, because that doesn't fucking matter to me anyway, dude. Just like liberals don't care about their voters except around voting day time, you know, the punk rock scene doesn't care about you, punker, either, except when it comes time to pay money or talk about punk rock or something like that, you know. But Triumph and Rick Emmett and Canada, it's so cold and desolate and boring up there. They'll fucking take anything they can get. You know, Allied Forces functions as that, you know, fourth or fifth album in the collection. And this is like their Led Zeppelin 4 or Who's Next, or, you know, that big album like the Stones' Exile on Main Street or Sticky Fingers. Name any album from 1971, you know, Jethro Tull, Aqualung. That year functioned as the greatest album year for everybody. Led Zeppelin 4, of course, comes rocketing straight to mind. But a decade later, 1981, would come Allied Forces by Triumph. Now, in history, Triumph had trouble struggling against Rush, because when you think Canada, you automatically think Geddy Lee, Neil Peart, Alex Lifeson. When can I get tickets? Where's the gig? I'll pay any price to go see that three-piece band. And of course, as we all know, that three-piece band really sounds like 7 guys are on stage, because you got so much keyboards and elaborate light show and pyros and just all this shit. Triumph sounds like a really, really fucking good 3 guys. You can hear all the instruments, and probably the best example of this, at least under the circumstances that day, was the US Festival 1983, of which Clark the Shark went, and I saw Triumph with all those metal bands. And dude, Triumph was like the best or something. I don't, you know, me at the time, I was all Mr. Punk Rock, and you know, since 1980 when I was 15. And but, you know, being a Beatles fan, you know, Helter Skelter, listening to the Stones, Beggars Banquet and all that shit, The Who live at Leeds, I had to appreciate metal, you guys, and got into shit like Iron Maiden and, you know, Judas Priest and all kinds of shit. Not deeply into it, like I had posters on my wall, but I would listen to that shit, you guys. Fuck yeah. Of course, I had to listen to Maiden. They're fucking insane and super talented. And punk rock rarely, you guys, has that kind of talent. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, here on WABC Radio New York, the big talker in the mornings, where Triumph is taking center stage with Allied Forces right now. This incredible album. It's not really metal. This is hard rock. It's kind of cheesy, like Toto or Jefferson Starship or Question Mark. You know, those bands that aren't quite metal. You know, they're kind of fucking lame, like Asia or some shit. Maybe not Genesis with Phil Collins, not quite like that. You know what I mean, you guys. They're not really committed to heavy metal, Triumph, but they fucking rock better and harder and more pristinely kick ass than any fucking metal band can, baby. Right here on the Sharky Show, the Wolfman Jack on crack, #1 on Mars, Jupiter. Syndicated talk radio, baby. #1 on planet Judas. Whatever fucking galaxy that's in. #1 on Neptune. #1, of course, on Earth, except for Howard Stern. And I ripped off fucking everything he does. He'll tell you first. You know, he's the self-proclaimed fucking great one. No, sorry, that's Mark Levin or Gretzky. But none of them are #1 on all the planets of the solar system, baby. Quite like yours truly, your humble servant, Dr. Shark. And as we all know, #1 also, especially on Uranus. Clark the Shark, baby, Triumph Allied Forces. We're going to get into this beautiful hard rock, not really metal, but definitely kicks some metal ass. This is their best album, you guys. Some people will argue Never Surrender was better, but I disagree. That one was a little too late. They were already going over that proverbial hill, mountain, slash, if you will. And another sin, a cardinal sin, one of the deadly sins Triumph would eventually commit in rock and roll, is they added a fourth person to the three-piece, you guys, the trio. And as we all know in rock and roll, once a trio, baby, always a fucking trio. Once you are the James Gang, that's it. If you go solo like Joe Walsh, that's like puking fucking chunks and she doesn't come back, Garth. If you're Rush, Geddy, Neil, Alex, and you add anyone to that, even Clark the Shark Almighty, you are breaking the covenant of rock and roll. And one of the covenant's provisions is you don't fuck with the three-piece, and that includes you, Triumph. Don't do it. And of course, Blake Douchebag and the Douchebag Effect did this too when they added the guy from the Germs. And as we all know, soon, quickly, it was the end for Blake. They found him passed away, dead in a greenhouse. Of all things, you guys, how ironic, with a shotgun across his chest. Some people even rumor and seem to believe that it was I, Clark the Shark, that flew there and did it, but it wasn't me. It was a guy named Alan Wrench who did it. Or maybe El Duce. Fuck, I don't know. I don't care. Fuck that douchebag, Blake douchebag. I don't give a shit where his soul now resides in the universe or anything about him, because he fucked with the three-piece, baby, and you don't do that. That's a cardinal sin. And when you do that, you are messing with the ingredients of great rock and roll. I'm not saying Blake is great or any of that shit. Fuck Blake. But I'm saying Allied Forces and Triumph, baby. Just like Cream with Eric Douchebag. Just like so many great bands, dude. They are great as a three-piece. Oh, I can think of another one. Grand Funk Railroad was a three-piece. I'm pretty sure, you guys, but they flirted with four-piece. Big mistake. And even I, Clark the Shark from GE, The Greenhouse Effect, we made a sin and we added a drummer to our ranks in 1990. And of course, as we all know, that version of GE would soon flame out. and I, Clark the Shark, would grab my Ibanez guitar and it would return to three-piece status. But by then, baby, it was too late. The rock gods had already frowned. But they didn't frown early on, anyway, at least, with Triumph and Allied forces. This incredible, melodic, kick-ass, atmospheric, hard-rocking, incredible album, you guys. Every fucking song is awesome. I don't care what the stars say. I already know Rolling Stone won't like this, but maybe All Music will. I haven't looked yet, you guys. I haven't taken a peek. Maybe the Encyclopedia of Pop Music will like this, you guys, here on the Sharky Show. Let's find out, shall we? Let's go down to those stars. All Music likes it. 4.5, baby. Look at that, just as I predicted. And Rolling Stone album douchebags give it a 1 star, as predicted by me, the Swami with ESP, the Sharkadoodle-Doo, the Sharkalama-Ding-Dong, the fucking fabulous one, baby, who's rarely like Fonzie on Happy Days. Don't even fucking say, you guys, quit emailing me about Jeff Beck, that one review a few days ago. In my view, it's not a Waldo, you guys. It wasn't intentional. Jeff Beck quit the Yardbirds. When you flake out like Eric Douchebag always flakes out, and you quit coming around, and you quit showing up for, videos or concerts or photo shoots or, interviews with the press or, any kind of press conference activity or whatever, dude. Jeff Beck lost interest in the Yardbirds. And in my technical opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people who matter, he wasn't fired. He quit the Yardbirds, even though history says he was fired. That's not a Waldo, you guys, so don't fucking email me about that. I believe in my heart and mind that Jeff Beck did quit the Yardbirds. And even Jimmy Page says to this very day, we knew he was going to quit, so we fired him. And, the others in the band didn't want to, but the management and me, we had to. He wasn't turning up. He wasn't around. And what happens in rock and roll, you guys, is if you are under contract with a band, the way out of a contract is don't show up, and like for a week or 2 weeks or a month. Just quit coming around the band. And eventually, even if you are Jeff Beck of the Yardbirds, you will be fired and removed from that band. Of course, the whole time with the intent of trying to get fired. And, you're over it. You just want out anyway. And as we all know, like I said in that review, Jeff Beck went on to do even better music with Rod Stewart when he did Jeff Beck Truth. I've already gotten like 10 emails about that, you guys. It's not a Waldo. You're not getting a free CD that's autographed by me, Clark the Shark of the Greenhouse Effect, the rock opera. Save your addresses and shit. I'm only going to mail you a Ziploc bag full of spit. I'm going to spit into it, and you'll get some saliva from Clark the Shark. That's all you're going to fucking get. I'm not giving you a free CD. I'm not going to PayPal you $1 or 53 cents, all because you swear Clark the Shark was finally, I can't even fucking say the word, just like Fonzie, baby, because it's so rare here on the Clark the Shark Show. And when I'm talking about Triumph, baby. Oh, one more thing about Jeff Beck. A lot of people say he was intimidated by Jimmy Page and the Yardbirds. When Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck they were both in the Yardbirds. And Jeff Beck got all intimidated by how great Jimmy Page was. You guys, there might be some mild truth to that, but I don't think that's what it was. I think Jeff Beck just wanted out of that contract. He wanted to be fired. He tried to get fired. You know, it's like that thing when you work at Walmart or Target and you're always late. You're just like, you guys, I want to go on EDD. I want to collect, disability or unemployment or some shit. I don't want to work here anymore. It's like that, you guys. I don't want to talk about the Jeff Beck controversy now that's erupting on the Clark the Shark show, where you guys are all out there trying to declare that I, Clark the Shark, finally have been proven. Dude, you guys, I can't even fucking say that word. Just like the Fonz, baby, on Happy Days. Remember Richie? He's like, Fonz, you were wrong. And then Fonz kicks his foot. That's me, Clark the Shark. I'm about to kick something, you guys. Jeff Beck fucking quit. He's trying to fucking quit that band. Now, I know it's not the same like when Eric Douchebag quit or was fired or... Dude, come on. When you're in something like the Yardbirds, you either stay or go, baby. I call it quit whenever someone quits. Keith Moon fucking quit The Who, if you want to get right down to it, when he took the handful of Hamanevrin. He didn't even die. He just said, fuck this, I just want out. He wasn't even killing himself. It's like he just wanted out of the Who. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. I don't know, you guys. But side one, baby, Fool for Your Love, Triumph Allied Forces. Right from the very first song, more Levine Emmett, dude, right from the first song, you're going to be listening to one of the most classic albums in the history of rock and roll ever recorded. And I remember 1981-82 being at South High School in Torrance and proudly listening to Triumph Allied Forces. And even my punk rock friends were like, yeah, dude, that does kick ass. Magic Power, track 2. You want to talk about a song that should be lit up in blue at Wikipedia. It's Magic Power. Fucking awesome, you guys. By the way, Fool for Your Love is sang or sung by the drummer, baby. It's not a Waldo. Moore is the drummer. Come on, you guys. And then Magic Power, of course, Emmett. Now, when these guys played at the US Festival, they completely dominated, you guys. The other bands didn't have a chance, except for maybe the Scorpions, who were fucking incredible. But, and I'm not a huge fan of, heavy metal like that. But just breaking it down and watching the bands play, I remember, I thought Motley Crue sucked. I mean, they were tight, but there's just something wrong with them, or I couldn't put my finger on it. And Van Halen were horrible because Diamond Dave was drunk. But it, when it's really loud and everyone's fucked up and high and drunk, it's going to sound good no matter what, you guys. But let me tell you, Triumph, baby, the band that did Allied Forces, they were going to fucking sound good at any gig, even the US Festival, under any circumstances too, you guys, no matter what. When you're fucking kicking ass and playing songs like Magic Power and Air Raid, Levine, the instrumental, awesome. And of course, the title track, Allied Forces, incredible. The lead vocals, more. You know me, Clark the Shark. I fucking love that, you guys. Hot Times in the City Tonight. That's kind of fucking cheesy and lame in that cool fucking way. I love it. Come on, you guys. Now, one of the greatest songs ever recorded in the history of all rock and roll, should be lit up in blue at Wikipedia, is Fight the Good Fight. Every moment. Just like Magic Power, Fight the Good Fight is fucking amazing, you guys. Incredible. But we haven't gotten to the best song on this incredibly amazing, awesome album yet. And as we all know, that's Ordinary Man. Because that's a song that describes me, Clark the Shark. I think I'm so great and I'm such a fucking genius. But when you break it down, it's kind of like Kansas. You know, if I claim to be a wise man, it's just more proof and confirmation that I don't know. And I'm just another ordinary man. Do, do, do. Yeah, baby. Ordinary man. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Petititude. Another instrumental. And Say Goodbye is fucking killer, dude. The whole album is a journey of classic rock, hard rock, cheesy rock, you know, like Toto, Jefferson Starship, really lame, fucking awful rock the way you love it. And me, Clark the Shark, I'm trying to think of other bands kind of like this. I would say maybe the catalyst for this sound might be the album Who Are You by The Who, when they really went power pop, you know, like power prog or something. Bands after that album wanted to kind of be like The Who Are You, that album, and try to emulate, try to recreate that album. You know, I kind of think that, me, Clark the Shark, here on the Clark the Shark Show. I could be right or wrong there, but I know that polished sound that was kind of like the Toto or the Tubes, or, you know, another album that might be like this is the Completion Backward Principle by the Tubes. And, you know, just that polished sound. It's not quite metal, but it's not quite, you know, easy listening like Hall & Oates either, or something like that. It's like in between. That's Triumph, you guys, but heavier, harder, kick-ass. You know, you can tell these guys love The Who, they love Rush, they love Led Zeppelin, you know, they love that hard rockin' shit from back in the day, Black Sabbath, you know, Uriah Heep, all that shit, you guys, that kicked ass. Triumph, we're all over that shit like flies on shit, baby. And Allied Forces should go down in history as one of the greatest rock albums ever recorded. I'm not even kidding. I fucking love this album. It takes me back to South High, Torrance, Redondo Beach, riding my Strand Cruiser. Back in the day, 1981, 82, 83. If you want the truth, you guys, I went to the US Festival just to see this band only. That's the reason I had to go. I had to see Triumph. And a little story here, you guys. I almost missed them at the show because I had some coughing fit, because at the US Festival, there was some kind of plant or something putting out this thing in the air. It was really hot. It was like 120 degrees. But there was this dust or some kind of chemical or pesticide, or maybe it was a naturally occurring plant. There was something in the air that was really irritating the Clark the Shark asthma, or, you know, that breathing condition, or that heart acceleration thing that I have. I always had these health problems, you know, growing up, sore heart or coughing or something. But instantly when I heard the first notes of Triumph live, I was healed, you guys. Triumph, Allied Forces, and believe you me, they played plenty of that album that day. And here's a weird thing. I never saw Triumph ever again, you guys, live. I never cared to go see these guys once they went 4-piece, but for whatever reason, I never saw them as a 3-piece, neither before or after the US Festival, you guys, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. A golden fact from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, you guys, because it was christened and given to me by Rick Dees in the morning at Power 106, baby. Triumph, Allied Forces. Even Rick Dees is like, dude, I know I'm pop. I know I gotta fucking play Britney Spears and Pink and all that shit. And The Weeknd. I'm so I'm so sorry the fucking guy ripped off your song, Sharky. But you're right. Triumph Allied Forces. What an accomplishment. What an album. I would say here on the Clark the Shark show that this is one of the greatest albums I've ever reviewed and was ever recorded. And I want you to buy it at Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. If you were born in 2005 and you are now just 19 years old and you are a Generation Z.A and you're into indie rock and all that fucking lame, weak shit, I want you to go buy some Triumph Allied Forces tonight. Because what the fuck do you know? You were born 4 years after 9/11. You were born 4 years after those planes were crashed into our Twin Towers in New York. You don't know fucking much of anything, but you're going to know a lot now, baby, and soon, because Clark the Shark, your humble servant, I'm going to get you into Triumph, baby. Allied Forces of rock and roll. Yeah, baby. Oh, Blue Oyster Cult. I forgot about them. You could tell Triumph, being from Canada and all, you know, they had to appreciate that. You know that fucking song, dude, Cities on Flame, with rock and roll. Triumph, baby, this whole album is their version of that. Allied Forces, 1981. Buy this album, you guys, and you tell them you heard it from me. Yours truly, your humble DJ, MC, microphone guy, better than Hannity, a smoother delivery than Hush Bimbo, Mark Levin, Michael Savage, Howard Stern, Rick Dees, Mark and Brian, or any of them, baby. It's Clark the Shark, and you be here daily. But definitely listen to Allied Forces by Triumph. And I'm out of here, people. Peace.